Today I'm going to be interviewing college students, and we're going to be exploring some of the experiences that they've had in our society. Without further ado, let's get into it. This is my friend Jackie.
Hi, I'm Jackie Huss. I'm 20 and I'm a straight female.
I'm Lindsay Wong. I'm 22 years old and I identify as a straight female.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm 20. I am a bisexual woman.
My name is Jared. I am 19 and I am a straight Latino male.
Hi, I'm Joe. I'm a cis white male.
My name is Hunter Thompson. I'm 21. I'm a Native American heterosexual male.
My name is Clint Thompson. I'm 21 years old and I am a white heterosexual male.
I have a winning personality. I find myself funny, I'm sarcastic. I try to make people cheer up and be happy.
I like to think that I'm very bubbly, but also very shy at the same time. I'm definitely very outgoing. I'm up for pretty much anything. I'm a people person. Like, I love interacting with new people and getting to know new people.
I'd say I'm pretty reserved.
Well, really, what is personality?
How do you think your friends would describe you?
Well, I don't really like the person root word of personality, because there is no individual person the way I see it. We're all one together.
Well, how would you describe that one that you're a part of?
Pretty chill.
I like women and I like getting money.
I think that a lot of people just assume that straight white females my age are more dainty, don't really relate to a lot of masculine things. I swear all the time. I feel like people don't assume that girls do that. I'm into nerdy stuff. I feel like people don't really think that girls our age should do that.
Oh, heck no. No, I act more like a boy than I do a female. I'm not gonna lie.
What would be an example of that?
I don't like to do girly things. So my friends, they like to do their makeup, they like to do their hair. This is me. Got out of the shower 20 minutes ago. Didn't do anything with myself. I like to burp. I like to do boy things. I like to watch football. I'm not even kidding. I like to watch football. I like to scream at the TV. I like to swear. Like, all those things.
I love it.
Yes and no. I think that society has a view of bisexual women as being very promiscuous and just sleeping with everybody, and that is definitely not true for me. I'm definitely very monogamous.
Probably.
For sure. Yeah.
No. Look different than most people. The specific details are different.
Like what?
My nose.
I fit into stereotypes very well. I also stereotype a lot too. But yeah, basically classic white man.
Not really. I mean, like, I'm Jewish, so I think that there's not a lot of good portrayals of Jewish girls.
Absolutely not.
No.
An example I would give is the Victoria's Secret and their models, because every girl is like, I want to be her, but we all just have to know you don't have to be her to be beautiful. Definitely not my sexual orientation. I definitely think there's plenty of white people in the media. Women, I think, need to be portrayed in more diverse roles. I think that we're getting a lot better with that. Bisexual women, I think, are entirely underrepresented. I think one of the best representations was Piper Chapman in Orange is the New Black. But even then, she cheats. I think that that is a kind of negative perception of bisexual people.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably over-portrayed. Cis white males probably steal the spotlight from a lot of other minorities, but like accurately, yeah.
Well, I don't really consume normal media. I prefer to just usually take a lot of drugs and stare at a wall for a few hours. When I am looking at that wall, I do see myself reflected pretty accurately in it.
I guess because there's really like two genders, like male and female, and so obviously the others that are there and portrayed had to stem from somewhere. And I
I'm
do
just
believe-
saying, as far as you being a heterosexual white male, do you think that white heterosexual males are portrayed effectively in the media?
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm really funny and I try to cheer people up. If anything, I'm a little lazy.
Probably how I'm like so open to new conversations and new ideas. The least favorite thing is that I'm shy. I'm really shy at times. I would say my favorite thing is that I'm very open to meeting new people, to trying new things. My least favorite is that I feel like I'm a very scared person as well. Almost everyone I know who's a woman, including myself, has struggled with body image issues. When you are insecure in your body, trying to be confident in the rest of what you do is a very difficult thing. If the media was more like, here's a million types of bodies, and let's look at that instead of a 6 foot tall, 120 pound model, it would probably be easier to be less scared about certain things.
I think there's a big difference between wanting everything to be considered beautiful. I think beauty can be found anywhere, but I think what's more important than that is pointing out that women don't need to be beautiful and sexy in order to be respected and treated like a human being that's enough, because everybody is enough.
Yeah, I think it's a lot to ask of a woman for her to look at like her stretch marks on her body and go, this is beauty to me. I think it's more, this is human of me. I am a human being, and all of me does not have to be pretty. All of me does not have to be perfect. Like, imperfection is beauty, you know? Yes.
Perfection really doesn't exist.
It's an unattainable goal.
I think authenticity is beauty.
And you're an awesome person, so.
Thank you. So are you. What is your favorite thing about your personality?
I really do be vibing though.
And what is your least favorite thing about your personality?
Sometimes my vibes are interrupted.
Probably how agreeable I am. Yeah.
And what's your least favorite thing about your personality?
I think I can get a little pushy with people sometimes.
I've already been over this. Personality doesn't exist.
What's your favorite thing about yourself and your least favorite thing about yourself?
Being mortal is the thing I hate the most, and my favorite thing is how I've never died.
Very creative and smart. Least favorite thing? I don't know.
You can't think of anything you don't like about your personality?
Honestly, no. It's perfect.
Maybe a 4, because I usually just walk around in leggings and like a sweatshirt and with no makeup and hating my life. So that's probably not the most stereotypically feminine thing. I wouldn't say I'm masculine, so I'd be like 2, maybe.
I would say I'm like a 7 or an 8. I don't wear the most feminine clothing, and I think that I do have a lot of feminine qualities. Like, I'm a very nurturing person. I love kids. I love taking care of people.
Rate yourself 1 to 10 on masculine scale.
Like a 2.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how feminine would you say that you are?
1.
And how masculine would you say you are?
9 3/4.
Okay.
Where does the last quarter go?
Feminism.
My nipples. Males don't need nipples.
Moving on.
Nipples are for breastfeeding.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how feminine would you say you are?
Maybe like a 2 or a 3.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, how masculine would you say you are?
Probably like 6 or 7.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how feminine would you say you are?
1.
Okay. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how masculine would you say you are?
1.
Why is that?
I tend to lack most traits. Pretty indescribable.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how feminine would you say you are?
0.
It's 1 to 10. It's 1 to 10. But that's fine. On a scale of 1 to 10, how masculine would you say you are?
A 10.
And especially today with like hookup culture in general, I think that men kind of get more praise for one night stands and stuff like that, and girls, it's more of a negative thing if they do that, and if they, you know, hook up with guys multiple times and stuff like that, she's viewed as a slut, but then a man does it and he's a baller. And
I totally agree.
yeah, and it's bullshit.
So men are, in a sense, allowed to have like sex. They're allowed to just go out there, one night stands, do whatever they want, and they're praised for it. The thing with women is that I think we develop the feeling and the connection with them, whereas men can just be like, done. I feel like anytime a woman has that type of same promiscuity as a male, we're viewed completely differently. We're like kind of shunned out into society, and it's very disheartening to see.
Yeah, it's sad. Even girls talking about other girls. Why? Why do girls shame other girls? We're human beings. So I like your answer.
That society throws a party for men every time they get laid. Women have to be so much more calculated about when and how they display their sexuality. There are so many misconceptions about women's sexuality, and I think that a common one is that it's low or non-existent in most women, and that it's just there for a man's pleasure.
Like
or
we do it
enjoyment.
so that they'll like us.
Yeah,
you mean?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Instead of like, oh, this is actually like my experience too.
What I really liked about what you said is the word calculated. Women have to be more calculated. I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
In the olden days, sex used to be a taboo thing. In the male community, having sex is usually praised. Sex in the female communities in large quantities is usually frowned upon.
I definitely think society shuns women for their promiscuity, whereas it encourages the behavior from men.
I think that's a great answer.
Since the dawn of time, the hunter-gatherer phase ended, we moved towards more structured societies. Female promiscuity was always seen as a negative thing. Biologically, a man has the imperative to have sex as much as possible, and our early humans saw that as a good thing. Whereas a woman who's having sex constantly can't carry multiple babies.
That is a point. However, what does that have to do with our judgment towards having sex?
It's all in the ape brains. When we were apes, that's how we thought, and I think that's just a negative remnant of those
You
times.
didn't answer the question.
Which one?
Would you describe the difference between the way society views men's promiscuity versus women's
I
promiscuity?
went on a whole rant about hunter-gatherers. The way we see it, it's the same thing as same
How
thing
do you
as back
think-
in the ape times, because it's a remnant of our ape brains that.
So, women are viewed negatively. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. How would you describe the difference between the way society views men's promiscuity versus women's promiscuity?
Can you define promiscuity?
Having sex. If a woman wants to have sex versus if a man. If I made like sexual jokes right now versus if Jacob made sexual jokes right now.
Oh, I see. Both would probably be funny, depending on the context, but when a woman wants to have sex, it usually makes them a slut or a whore. When a guy wants to have sex, it usually makes him a Chad.
A what?
A Chad. Like a cool
Could you
person.
could you define?
An alpha male.
Okay. Do you like agree with that?
Yes.
You agree that women that have a lot of sex are sluts and that men have a lot of sex are cool?
To most people, it seems that way.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Because
what's your opinion?
a woman. I mean, it depends on the person.
No, you're the person.
Alright. Yeah, I'll go with that. I said that.
That women that have a lot of, like, a woman that has sex with 5 guys is a slut and a man that has sex with 5 women is cool.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Like, more condescending if we're like in a group, and just because I'm a female, just because my poor little feminine heart can't take it.
Would you say that you think society views women as fragile, maybe less competent?
Yes, most of the time.
Nothing
not being
is
an absolute. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we both said it at the
I
same
love
time.
that. Wow, everyone.
You know, I just wish people would treat me with a little bit of respect, because people look at me, they're like, she's dainty, she's a girl, she can't do this, she can't do that.
Yeah, and how do you respond when people assume that you're not as competent as a man, even if it's in a subtle situation?
If I'm wrong. I definitely think I haven't really had as much negative treatment as other women have had. I know a lot of people who have been raped and abused by men. I definitely think I don't I haven't had the worst of it at all. I definitely think men can tend to think that they can talk over you.
What is your favorite thing about? Oh wait, it's gonna be better than his though. To be completely honest.
went first.
Curious about your
the
actual opinion. That's not what I'm saying. I mean,
No, there's not.
if that was true, why would gay people exist?
It's a choice.
All-
All right, hurry up. Next question.
How
Same
do
thing
you
as back
think-
in the 8 time.
It's typical a straight male,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't say I've received any harsh treatment because of it.
I don't really think it does that much, just because of how typical it is.
Right.
So, like, I'm not facing much discrimination.
I think the combination straight and male makes people fear me more.
Why do you think that is?
People often scream when they are near me.
I think that females should just have equal rights as males because, like, that's just an obvious thing. I don't
Right.
consider myself feminist. I think everyone should just have equal rights. I think there's just a stigmatism with the word now that I don't want to be called one.
Yes and no. Yes, I like female empowerment and I feel like men and women should be equal, but also I don't like to label myself as a feminist because having that label kind of like makes people like, oh, you're a men hater.
Yeah, a lot of people argue that men and women do have equal rights, so there's no point for feminism. What would you say to that?
We don't, because there are still pay gaps. There are still women out there who are being portrayed in negative ways. There's still women out there who can't wear what they want. We can't do what we want. We can't go out and have sex when we want because anything we do is just going to be negatively impacted on us.
Do you consider yourself a feminist? Why or why not?
Yes, for sure. That feminism has gotten a really bad rap in the media and people have equated it to man-hating and other things, and I think that's not true. I think that, you know, just because you love women and you want women's equality does not mean that you inherently hate men. I think that it's just something that people look at in a negative light, and I think that it's definitely a more positive thing than people realize.
No, I wouldn't give myself the title of feminist. I believe that equality has been reached. I think they're pushing for better treatment than males.
While I do agree with many feminist ideas, alongside like equality and social equality, I don't align myself with the party due to its recent radicalization.
That makes sense. I think a lot of people feel that way. Do you consider yourself a feminist?
Sure. Equal rights are good. Because we're all one thing either way.
I agree. Do you consider yourself a feminist?
No, feminists have extreme views, in my opinion.
Radical feminists.
Radical
do.
feminist. I'm a core conservative.
So, what do you think feminism means?
Feminism means wanting equal rights and equal opportunities and equal treatment as males.
And you don't agree with that?
I mean, I agree that we should have that. And
You
that
just
there
defined
is.
it and said you don't agree with it.
I agree. I don't agree that I'm a feminist. But I agree that we do have it. But feminists take it and think we don't have it.
If we define feminism as equality of respect and rights, you would say yes, you're a feminist?
Because I believe we already have that, I do not advocate more for it.
What about all the women in the world that don't have rights, though? And all the women that are raped more than men, and all the women that are paid less, and all the women that have less high positions, and all the women that are disrespected in the
I have
workplace?
no position in the United Nations, so I cannot do anything about that.
When people respect me and I have the mental capability to do that, I very much like when people think I'm smart. Yeah.
I don't think that's too much to ask.
I know, right?
I don't think respect is too much to ask for. Next question is, what empowers you?
Respect. Respect and love. Self-care, for sure, empowers me. Showing up as my best version of myself to the world, I feel like that's when I feel empowered. Like when I get up in the morning and I put on my empowering music and I get in the shower and I put on my makeup, other people's opinions or commentary becomes irrelevant, because if you approve of yourself you don't care as much when other people disapprove of you. The goal for me is getting to a level of approval that everything else doesn't matter as much.
I think it's very empowering to say, I'm enough, and if you don't like me, that's fine.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
that's really empowering.
I totally agree.
Internal motivation.
Probably my own personal drives and my friends and family around me that support me and encourage me to be who I am.
The original vibe.
My ability to complete all tasks put in front of me.
Hi, Jackie, 5 years ago, you 15-year-old, you little scamp. Realize that you don't need a boyfriend in high school. It's not important. Know that you're just as important as the guy is. Like, don't let the situation be that you're giving everything and you're getting nothing. Know that you're important too. So, yeah.
I really like that.
Mhm.
Not needing a man. I heard a quote one time that a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle.
I love that. Amen.
Well, thank you so much
Of
for participating in my
course.
interview. I
Yes.
really appreciate it. And we're going to move on to the next guest.
Hi, Lindsay, 17-year-old. Know your worth. Do not let anyone else define your worth. Don't let anyone else tell you what you're worth. You know you're worth it. You should always know you're worth it. Don't let anyone, and I mean anyone, including your own parents, tell you your own worth. You define yourself. Let yourself know that. No boy controls you. You control you.
I love that. I think that was fantastic. I wish I could have told myself that. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you participating in the interview. We're going to move on to our next guest.
To not be as afraid. Like, I have done things in the last few years that I never would have imagined I could do. I really think that's how people get empowered, is by pulling through situations that you felt like you couldn't get through, or saying, you know what, I'm gonna have strength for another day when I didn't think I could have strength. There's literally no point in sitting there worrying about every little thing. You can get through it if you just prove it to yourself. It's easier said than done, and I think
For
sometimes
sure,
you have to
for
go
sure.
through the fear and then move past it and feel the absence of the fear to really appreciate that.
Yeah, my friend Mackenzie always says you gotta taste the salt to appreciate the sweet.
Very true.
So,
That's a good one. I like
yeah,
that.
she's a wise woman. Shout out to Mackenzie. I think that's really great advice
Yeah,
to 5 years
thank
ago.
you.
I would also have similar advice to myself.
Procrastinate less.
Okay. All right. Thank you for participating in the interview.
Thank you.
And our next guest.
Don't start drinking
Really? Why's that?
because it costs money.
Well, thank you for participating in today's interview.
You're very welcome.
Next guest.
Commit more crimes.
Okay. Thank you. That concludes the interview.
Probably put yourself out there. Do what you like to do because you like to do it, and don't let anybody stop you from doing it.
Fantastic. And that concludes our interviews. Thank you so much for participating. And thank you for watching.